even with all the defences of Fowlcatraz, it just hasn't been enough. G'day, it's Rachel here from Bush Edge Homesteading Australia, and I've just come down to the chicken, quail and duck area and found something that a fowl keeper never wants to find, but I wanted to share this with you guys because we've got a lot of defences to try and keep foxes away here, and I've always said I'm going to share the good, kind of the bad and the ugly of being on property, and this moment is definitely one of the really hard ones. And yeah, to be honest, it hurts a lot and it's pretty raw at the moment, but I wanted to show you what I've just found. I've just come down to do a bit of a check on all the birds and found that a few were missing. And then I've kind of found this and a few other things as well. Now we've got a pretty full-on enclosure. I haven't given you a really big tour of this. I had been planning on doing that, but I'm going to show you the sort of defences that we do have, and then how the foxes breached it this time. Now, our Fowlcatraz enclosure we've had now probably no breaches of in probably a good 4 years. And in here we've had our 2 ducks that I often show kind of moving around the garden, eating a lot of our snails and other bugs out of the garden. We've had our 3 chickens in here, and also my son's quail enclosure is in here as well. There is a lot of lines of defence on Fowlcatraz. As you can see, we've got really high fences, so there's the 6-foot high fences. Along the top of those fences, there's a bit of a 90-degree angle that you can kind of see here, where the wire kind of juts out, and that's so that foxes can't climb over the top. A few years ago, which was the last time we actually had a fox get into this enclosure, we had a branch go down on top, and one night that branch fell and a fox climbed over the top and got in and took out every single one of our chickens, and it was absolutely horrendous. And that was when we put this additional control over the top, which is a electric hot wire. And actually that was also when we put in a lot of the lights that we have along this as well. So if I kind of walk around, we've got these sensor motion lights all kind of on solar, and when something moves around we do actually see these lights go off in the night. And when we had Sky, she used to run down and kind of patrol when she saw those lights come on. Obviously Cooper's very recently joined us, and we're trying to integrate him into the family at the moment. He's been with us probably just about a month and a half now, and he's sleeping inside, so he's not on patrol in the same way as Sky was. Also along the bottom, because we know that foxes can dig, we've got wire. So the wire actually juts out, and you can see that you can't even really tell it's there now because the grass has kind of grown through it and kind of interwoven. But in this area where the foxes got through, it's actually dug in from further out. And even though we've got this additional wire, it's just not out far enough for this fox, who's kind of outwitted it where all the others haven't outwitted it before. Yeah, so that's kind of the layers of protection we have with Fowlcatraz. And in fact, even with the quails, you know, they've got a second line of defense in that we keep their enclosure in this big enclosure. If I head inside, you know, that's their enclosure there. And what I can see has happened, so fox has come in, he's dug, and again, you know, we've buried the wire well into the ground here for this enclosure, and he hasn't been able to get in. But what he has done is moved aside the log that we have at the door. He's managed to jimmy this door open. And I don't know right now if he's actually snatched a couple of the quail. Maybe he has. I can see there's little feathers on the ground here. Yeah, I think he's got them. I was kind of hoping that he'd just kind of jimmied the door open and the quail had got away, given there was no signs of anything taken in the enclosure. But yeah, and these two quail have survived, but I think maybe they were just lucky and they were hiding. Yeah, so 2 quail gone. 1 of our 3 chickens is gone. The other 2 are hiding in the shed now, and I've locked up the shed just so that there's no chance the fox can come and snatch these guys until we do a bit more work again, trying to defend this area. You know, once the foxes come, they come back. You know, they know where there's a meal left behind, so I expect these guys are going to be coming back. So that means I also need to secure the door of this even better. I also need to deal first and foremost with that area that you know, Cooper's well putting his scent on at the moment. Well, it looks like he's digging it out a bit more. Hey buddy, stop! Yeah, so I need to fill that. I need to sort this door. We obviously need to make sure that the chickens have everything they need to be in just that shed for a while. I don't like having my chickens locked up like that. You know, we have this big free range area for them for a reason. Probably the most gutting out of all this is our ducks being gone. Yeah, there's a couple of feathers there. I haven't really seen much sign of what's happened to our black duck. Here's a few feathers, so I had hoped she was kind of hiding somewhere. Our black duck we call baby duck, and we raised baby duck from an egg. And yeah, she was the only one that kind of came through as in a hatch. Lived with us in the house until she was big enough to kind of come outside, and you know, just one of those animals that really had become a pet. So the fact that she's gone is pretty devastating. And obviously her buddy white duck is gone as well. And down here we can kind of see, yeah, where it's bloody horrible foxes have probably taken them. Yeah, there's no sign of them, you know, anything left. So you know, at least the foxes have eaten them this time. I will say the last time something like this happened, it was really, really horrific, because they took one and they dropped about a half a dozen of our chickens at that stage. We didn't have ducks at that stage. So yeah, this time they have taken them all. There's a few places in there that we just saw where they've probably been eating, and then they've taken one and they've taken it over to the wood pile and finished their meal over here. Yeah, so as I said, not a positive thing to share with you guys today, but It is the reality, sadly, of keeping fowl in Australia that we have foxes here, and yep, we definitely lost baby duck. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, so on that note, as I said, it's a bit of a reality of keeping fowl here in Australia. You know, we try bloody hard here to try and protect our animals, which is why we have the enclosure that we have. This time it hasn't been enough. I will not get more birds until we've got this sorted. It's not right for the animals, and it's heartbreaking for us as well. Anyway, sad one today. Thanks for joining, guys, and catch you later.